violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
A star athlete from Houston Baptist University is dead after he and 8 other people were shot at a barbecue in his hometown of Harlem. ABC 13's Brooke Taylor has a story for us tonight.
Basket after basket made by Darius Lee, a star player for Houston Baptist University. As one of his teammates puts it,
when you talk about HB basketball, you definitely mention Darius Lee.
The 21-year-old from New York tragically shot and killed in Harlem overnight in a mass shooting which injured 8 others.
That's wild. And these are the mass shootings that typically occur throughout the U.S. You know, ops sliding on ops. Unfortunately, it's not safe to congregate and gather at these barbecues in the community anymore, at these gatherings, at these functions, at these kickbacks. All of these events can easily get shot up, okay? And it's always going to be mass casualty because there are a bunch of people in a enclosed vicinity, all right? And it's so unfortunate that this brother lost his life. And it just goes to show, man, this summer is going down as a super bloody summer. Like the Kia boys said, these super gremlins are on demon time.
His teammate Hunter Janacek says Lee wore his jersey and the number 23 proudly.
Unreal. I mean, this past season he scored 52 in a game. His first year at HBU scored 36 in a game.
HBU basketball head coach Ron Cottrell says Lee's mother called him this morning.
She was still pretty much in shock at that point. He and his mom and his sister were really, really tight.
And the crazy thing is, man, these coaches, they see a lot of this going on with these kids. They see all the problems, but they can't speak up about it. They really can't. I mean, look at, I think there was a Wisconsin coach, and he talked about, he compared January 6th to the BLM riots. You can't really speak up about this type of stuff or you're going to get canceled, and then your whole team's going to even turn on you, right? Just because the way the media is going to spin it. So, you know, all he's got to do is mind his business and do his job.
The basketball standout earning the title of 6th in the nation in steals per game.
He's our leading scorer, our leading rebounder, our leading assist guy, all-conference player.
But it wasn't just what he brought on the court.
The ultimate example of how to be a good teammate, how to be a good friend.
He was named our male athlete of the year on our campus, mainly because not only was he a great player, but he was just the type of person everybody loved being around.
The players and their coach know they're losing one of their best. The legacy Lee leaves behind, though, going far beyond just the scoreboard.
They lose a lot of scoring. They're going to lose a big heart, you know, and soul to the team.
Brooke Taylor, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
A mass shooting in Harlem that killed a college basketball star. He's being described as a hometown hero.
All right, Fox 5's Lisa Evers live at the scene with reaction from community members who are once again calling for change. Lisa.
Well, Stephen, Lori, community leaders and residents are getting ready to rally here. They are outraged by the ongoing gun violence and by the gun battle, this roving gun battle that took the life of a promising college basketball star and injured 8 other people.
And just understand that guns are already illegal in New York, so there's no type of gun legislation that can be implemented in order to, you know, stop this, okay? Like, they think that they can just write some policy up, put pen to paper, and fix this issue in the community, and it's way deeper than that.
A
Father's Day barbecue in the sliver of park on the East River off the FDR Drive near East 139th Street erupted in violence about 12:45 Monday morning. Sources say there were dozens of shots fired by multiple shooters. 21-year-old Harlem resident and college basketball star Darius Lee was shot and killed. 8 other people were wounded.
Anytime that there is a party and more than 2 guns come out, that's a problem.
On the block where Darius...
I mean, what is worth shooting up the party, you know? There's a song that's popping too. It's like, we shoot up your party. I heard it in the club one time, and I could never find who sang the song. Otherwise, I would have tracked it down. But yo, it's like these dudes cannot get along, man. It is what it is. There's so many beefs going on. You can't throw no public events like this. It's got to be exclusive, pat down security. Like, it's wild out here, y'all.
Lee lived with his mother and sister. There was a makeshift memorial, hugs and many tears over a promising life lost. Lee was home for the summer from Houston Baptist University, where he'd just been named Male Student Athlete of the Year. Athletic Director Steve Moniaci says, our prayers are with his family first and most importantly, but also with his friends, coaches, and teammates. He was a very fine young man who had a very bright future in front of him, both on and off the court. His high school coach says he was the best of the best.
It was just full of energy and full of life and full of like positive vibes. Like, he's someone that everyone would root for. Like, he's a hometown hero.
Markers for bullet casings spanned a large area, as did hats and bags left behind in the mayhem as people were running for their lives. The grief over this loss is being felt even by those who did not know the basketball star personally.
The mother lost a child, a promising student, a young man that had a scholarship, a young man that had no prior arrests. He was doing a phenomenal job in school. He was doing a phenomenal job on the basketball court.
Notice his little pin here, Xing out the gun. The gun is not the problem, brother. It's the super gremlins on demon time.
Now, we've seen teams of detectives all day here processing the scene, which is extremely extensive, going from here on 5th Avenue all the way over to the East River. My sources close to the investigation tell me that detectives are still trying to figure out exactly how many shooters there were, and they're looking for information from witnesses and people who may have been there and asking you to call 1-800-577-TIPS. We're live in Harlem. I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News.
Into that mass shooting in Harlem continues and still no arrest. Police.
Dang. No arrests. No arrests, y'all. And people were at that party. Maybe the Super Gremlins had their Pooh Shiesty mask on, but you can't tell me that nobody knows who started shooting.
Believe 2 groups, possibly rival gangs, were shooting at each other when innocent bystanders got caught in the crossfire.
8 people were shot, including a 21-year-old college basketball star who died from his wounds. Eyewitness News reporter Derek Waller has the latest from Harlem.
And this afternoon, the mayor and police commissioner are going to be in Brooklyn for a public safety related announcement at 2 p.m. as this community continues to search for answers. Another innocent person shot and killed.
It was my shirt that was used to put on his wound because we didn't know what to do. You don't know what to do with a gunshot wound to the head.
Well, you know, you have to apply pressure, and these basic medical procedures definitely should be taught in the community because we deal with this way too often. All right. And a lot of times people just stand around and, you know, dang, he got shot, whatever, you know. And, you know, this brother said that he applied pressure to the wound, which is all you can do until, you know, the ambulance arrives or maybe a police officer arrives to bring that individual to the hospital. So we got to start, for one, teaching that basic medical procedures for high risk situations. Like, it's going to have to be a lot of war zone medics in the community because, you know, you say one thing, but then when a solution is presented that would work, they're not going to allow it to happen. That's what I'm telling you guys. Like, there have been plenty of solutions that really work to drive down crime, and the community protested it. So, you know, unfortunately, this is what we get now. And we all know that the no cash bail thing is big in New York. So if these guys were to get caught, which they haven't got caught before because of the no snitch policy, you know, no telling, all that kind of stuff. If they end up getting caught, would they be able to make a bail, or are they going to be held? This is a problem going on across the whole country.
That young man was at that cookout, rushing to help the victims after police say rival gang members fired dozens of rounds. The cops recovering this gun, but they say more weapons were used at this press.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't an AR-15? It was this little pea shooter here? I thought AR-15s were the only weapons that could inflict a mass casualty result, right? That's what they say, man.
At this press conference, State Senator Cordell Clare called for addressing what she called underlying issues.
We have to make sure that there is employment for young people, that there is affordable housing for people to.
So that's the issue, sis. I'm gonna tell you what, right now, we saw when we did the video on Chicago teens, when it comes to young black men ages 16 through 20, we have a labor participation rate of 12%. It's not good at all. There are plenty of jobs out there. It's about, you know, for one, being able to fill out that application. For two, following up and being punctual. And for three, you know, sticking it out until you can find another job. It's not like there are not jobs out here. That's the reality. There's plenty of jobs. Are your kids willing to work, though? That's the question. A lot of them do not want to work. Okay. Even when you look at 16 through 24, it's only a 28% labor participation rate. So you got to ask yourself, yo, is there an issue with not enough jobs being out there, or is there an issue with these super gremlins just not wanting to work?
To live in.
But this neighbor told me there's a more immediate solution.
To stop and frisk again.
Let's get it. Okay, Monique, I see you, baby. She said stop and frisk that behind. If he's sagging and you can see the gun print, scoop his behind up, pull his pants up, and lock his behind up. She said she done tired. She said she tired of these super gremlins, honey.
You know what I mean? Because it seems like, okay, now they putting a tracer on the ghost guns. You know, hopefully that goes through. But, you know, some people really need to be stopped and frisked.
That shootout at this park along the Harlem River Drive injured 8 people and killed 21-year-old Darius Lee.
I mean, this is repeat history. They were saying the same thing, and like, people act like, oh, the 94 crime bill was just a conspiracy. No, the community was begging for it because it was really bad. Now it's getting that same type of level bad. So it sounds like she's asking for another crime bill. I don't know, though, you know. But sis was straight up. She said, hey, stop and frisk these super gremlins, man. They're terrorizing the community. They bullying people in the streets. There was this one video I saw where they robbed this random brother, held him up, put the gun to his face, holding him over a bridge. It's not right, man. It's not right.
A star basketball player at Houston Baptist University. His coach speaking to Bill Ritter.
Tell me why he was so special.
He was our university's male athlete of the year this year. I mean, that's how highly he was thought of on our campus.
Lee's father witnessing that magic.
When he played, he played. The last game I saw him play, he scored 55 points.
Meanwhile, Lee's sister, Tiara Weaver, told us she's still in shock. Her brother, home from college, killed in the neighborhood where he grew up.
Innocent people, he's an innocent kid, that's in school playing basketball. He cared about basketball. He decided to stay outside one day, and this is what happens.
You heard her. You heard her. They saying we outside, guys. Do not go outside. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Oh boy.
And Lee was also a 28.
The face that she made at the end was kind of peculiar, right?
He decided to stay outside one day, and this is what happens. Oh boy.
And Lee was also a 2018 graduate of St. Raymond High School in the Bronx, and they issued a statement calling him a phenomenal human being.
We begin with the latest developments on that mass shooting in Harlem. 9 people shot overnight, and one of them died. This is just one of 15 shooting incidents over the weekend, with a total of 17 victims in our area.
And we are learning more about that victim, Darius Lee, just 21 years old. His former school, St. Raymond High School for Boys, posted a tribute to him, saying he was a tremendous basketball star and calling for the senseless acts of violence to stop. And now there is a memorial to Darius growing outside of his home.
Police are still trying to track down the shooters. Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim is live in Harlem with the developments. Stefan?
Well, Shirley and David, that gunfire erupted in a park along the East River, where you can see there is that narrow entrance and exit using this pedestrian overpass. And that's where you can see evidence of a frantic attempt to escape. 9 people shot in total, one of them fatally, 7 men and 2 women, ranging in age from 21 to 42. 5 of those victims were initially found shot on this footpath over the Harlem River Drive. The others arrived at Harlem Hospital. The 21-year-old man was pronounced dead at Lincoln Hospital. It happened just after 12:35 this morning. This is 5th Avenue and East 139th Street. The victims were enjoying a late night gathering of barbecue. Police initially were told that 2 groups were shooting at each other at the scene. Investigators released this photo of a gun recovered at the scene. One resident says there were so many gunshots she couldn't believe her ears.
I was sitting in my living room, and all I heard was,
shout out to Monique,
sporadic shots just ringing out. I mean, it was like brung, 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 and it stopped, and then it picked back up, brung, brung, brung. You know, it was so many shots. At first I thought it was fireworks, but then I said, nah, it can't be.
Now, meanwhile, we're learning the 21-year-old victim who died is Darius Lee. He was class of 2018 at St. Raymond High School for Boys. The school says he was a tremendous basketball star and a phenomenal human being who lived a positive life and excelled academically on and off the court. There is a somber, growing memorial now outside of his home.
Humble, star, basketball player, don't bother nobody, stayed out the way. He don't bother nobody. 21 years old. Unreal. It has to stop. It just has to stop.
When you say it has to stop, what has to stop?
Innocent people. He's an innocent kid that's in school playing basketball. He cared about basketball. He decided to stay outside one day, and this is what happens.
Now, many of the victims were shot in the torso. There were also injuries to people's legs, back, and fingers. Still unclear what prompted the shooting.
Aims the life of a promising college athlete. 21-year-old Darius Lee was killed last night in a shooting near the scene of a music video production in Harlem. 8 other people were wounded.
CBS 2's Jenna DeAngelis joins us now live with the latest, with reaction now from this grieving community. Jenna?
Maurice and Christine, we're told Lee was home for the summer from college. His basketball coach there described him as a remarkable young man. As you can see behind me, loved ones created a memorial in his honor, and here they also called for an end to gun violence. Pain could be felt across the Harlem neighborhood, where friends and family gathered to remember Darius Lee.
Humble, quiet, star, amazing.
His sister, who asked we only record her voice, says Lee was one of a kind.
We love him. We're going to miss him. I don't know what I'm going to do. That's my other half. He was never supposed to die. Never. Never. My mother's never supposed to bury her kid.
The 21-year-old was one of 9 people shot overnight in the area of East 139th Street and 5th Avenue. Police sources say the shooting stemmed from a dispute on the set of a rap video being filmed there. A witness told our John Diaz he heard rapid gunfire.
Around 40 or 50
Y'all heard that, a rap video.
Shots in such a short span of time.
A gun was recovered at the scene.
The emboldened individuals responsible for this are exactly who our officers are battling every day to make our city safe.
NYPD data shows homicides are down. There have been 189 this year compared to 218 by this time last year. But one death is too many.
When is enough is going to be enough. We don't want to see another mother bury another child.
Chaplain Robert Rice came to support Lee's family in the neighborhood where he grew up and left his mark.
He's someone that everyone would root for. Like, he's a hometown hero.
Chris Williams was his basketball coach at St. Raymond High School for Boys in the Bronx, where he was a star player, earning a full ride to Houston Baptist University. His coach there says he was a great player, but an even better person.
He was just one of those guys that everybody loved.
And along with that rap video recording, police say there was also a barbecue going on. It's not clear if Lee was at either or both of these events. So far, no arrests have been made. We're live in Harlem. Jenna DeAngelis, CBS 2 News.
Okay, Jenna.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting
just took place. Excuse me. I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo! Ain't that nigga J.
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
And gun violence early this morning claimed the life of a promising young college basketball player.
His father is demanding justice and spoke to CBS 2's Allie Bauman, who joins us now live from Harlem. Allie.
Christina Maurice, Darius Lee dreamed of playing for the Knicks one day, and he had a shot. His dad told us Darius was a good kid who accomplished anything he put his mind to. But his dreams and life were cut short last night. If things had been different, his dad says they might have been wrapping up a family dinner right about now.
He would say to me, "What you cooking tonight?" And I would say, "I don't know, I'll make something." And he would come through and have a plate, 2 plates.
To all the people who loved Darius Lee, his death does not feel real yet.
This is something different. Nobody expect that. The guy don't curse. He don't hang out. He don't drink. He don't do anything. He just play PS5 and play basketball.
The 21-year-old was one of 9 people shot overnight on 5th Avenue and 139th Street. The scene so close to where Lee lived, his sister could hear the gunshots.
She heard the shots. She called him. He didn't answer. She called him again. He didn't answer. His best friend called his mom and said, "I'm sorry." She said, "Sorry for what?" He's like, "I'm sorry." Officer Darius was shot.
Police said people had been having a barbecue on the block, and a group was also filming a music video there when investigators believe some kind of dispute broke out. A gun was later recovered at the scene.
Get some resources here to stop this violence.
That's right.
So they don't want to use the lyrics. They don't want to use the lyrics in the court of law, but these guys are filming a music video and shots ring out. And now he's talking about resources, get some resources. And it's like, bro, there's every resource. There's so many different programs. The fact of the matter is, you know, some people just don't get involved in these programs. And then you make it harder on society when you're literally asking them to let prisoners go and let violent offenders out on no cash bail. So you're talking about resources. That's not the problem, bruh. I know he's mad. I know he's angry, but that's not the problem. The problem is the super gremlins get locked up and then they're released shortly after. I guarantee the guys who popped the gunfight off, I guarantee they have like a lengthy rap sheet. Guaranteed. Okay, there's no doubt in my mind.
Because our people are dying and we're tired of it.
Lee was a star basketball player at St. Raymond High School for Boys in the Bronx. From there, he got a full ride to Houston Baptist University and was supposed to graduate in December.
Would have been probably preseason player of the year going into next year in our conference. Terrific future ahead of him as a pro player. Just one of those guys that you knew the future was bright for Darius Lee. He was going to do something special.
The latest NYPD data shows that shootings citywide are down 10% so far this year compared to last, but up 47% compared to 2 years ago. Monday night, Mayor Adams paid a visit to Lee's family.
This gun violence has gotten ridiculous since he came in office. It's ridiculous.
Yep, you heard it. It's gotten worse. See, the thing is, the community is not ready to do what we need to do to stop this. Any policy that they implement that is really effective in stopping this is going to be deemed racist. So, you know, you kind of have to just, you kind of have to take those punches until you actually realize, hey, the bail reform stuff doesn't work. You know, guys who are committing violent criminal acts need to get the hammer dropped down on them. And they shouldn't be able to just get out the next day and whatnot. I mean, it makes no sense, but this is what they're asking for. Even the guy, I mean, look at C Blue. Look at C Blue. Shot a cop, shot himself, not supposed to have a gun, all charges dismissed. Wow. It is ridiculous. Okay?
Do your job.
We're told those 8 other victims are expected to survive. Police have not made any arrests and asked anyone with information to call the NYPD. We're live in Harlem. Allie Bauman, CBS 2 News.
And now to gun violence in the city and conversations about its toll on Harlem.
Residents are remembering 21-year-old Darius Lee as a young man with a bright future whose light was extinguished too soon after he was killed on Sunday. CBS 2's Jesse Mitchell with more from the barber shop where he was a lifetime customer.
And I've been cutting his hair since he was a baby.
Owner and barber Earl Figueroa smiles to remember how tall Darius Lee had grown when he returned home from college for summer break.
When he got up, I thought Shaquille was in my chair. The person that was going to bring the NBA to Harlem, like had so much of a bright future, so pleasant, just an angel. We know we got a beautiful angel watching over us now, though.
Fig's barbershop has lost clients to gun violence before.
We all becoming desensitized because it's happening so rampant and so often. Like, I be feeling like I wish it was me because I know all the bad I did back then. But then you get somebody like him who wasn't about none of that.
This is the beginning. The barbershops is the beginning of the healing because this is where everybody come at in the hood for therapy.
I've had conversations in here.
So the barbers are the violence interventionists. The barbers are the therapists, the social workers that they want to pull up on the scene when a cop is having an interaction with one of these super gremlins. Look, this is the reality of the situation. The guys who are doing this are continually doing this because there are no consequences for their actions. These DAs are soft on crime. They're letting them straight out. and the cops can't do anything about it if they arrest a guy and then he's out the next day.
Here that I might have never thought to start with anybody, you know, and somebody else starts a topic that's adjacent to something I was already thinking about, and then
The conversations now seek solutions to prevent more pain.
They need cameras down there, because if they had cameras down, how you gonna have the side of a border?
The cameras aren't going to do anything, bro. These super gremlins do not care about cameras. It's not the cameras, bro. They're trying to blame everything but the super gremlins. It's crazy.
They're coming through the hood with no cameras. People are supposed to jog down. Anything could happen. What are y'all waiting for?
Some blame the glorification of violence in the new genre.
So he's asking for a surveillance state in the hood. I don't think these brothers really understand what they're asking for.
Of drill music and want rappers with a platform to speak up.
half the stuff that they saying is not even real, but it's in.
Oh yeah, it's real, buddy. It's real. It's real, and it's active. And these super rapping gremlins are on demon time.
Influencing people to do the real thing.
And fake is among neighbors who are starting to reconsider their previous opposition to stop and frisk.
Let my wallet show in my pocket. Pat me down, please, so I can feel safe.
Some of his
I mean, they are begging for the surveillance state. It's crazy how these super gremlins will put pressure on you. Now you rethinking everything. All these things that they're saying are quote unquote conservative, radical right talking points. Stop and frisk, surveillance in the hood, all this stuff. But they will if you are white saying this, you're gonna get called a racist.
His neighbors and clients say they're ready to move away.
It's a double-edged sword. You in the hood, there's shootings. You move to the suburbs, it might be a more massacre shooting, somebody going to the school shooting up. So it's like, how can you win? The world need healing.
Fig and his barbers are starting on their block, healing over haircuts. In Harlem, Jesse Mitchell, CBS 2 News.
The person that did that, you took a good one. And he will be caught.
An emotional promise to a killer who stole so much from this father.
I'm still speechless. This hurts.
Eric Lee lost his son Darius to street violence, something unexpected. His son was on a different path with unlimited potential in basketball until attending a Father's Day Juneteenth cookout changed everything. This devastated father tells Pix 11 News his son did everything to stay away from the streets.
Straight A student, kept up with his grades, and his goal was to go to the NBA, and he was on his way.
Police say bullets went flying from multiple guns in East Harlem just after midnight Monday. Darius and 8 other people were hit. The 21-year-old was not an intended target, but was the only one who died. Since then, there's been tremendous support and outrage from the community. Senseless shootings are affecting innocent people around the city. What do you want to say to kids and young people who pick up guns?
Put them down. There's no need for it. Nobody fights anymore. Everybody get a gun.
I mean, why does there have to be violence? Nobody fights no more. Nobody, like, bro, why is the main resolution for conflict violence?
Just leave the guns at home.
How about nobody talks anymore? Nobody just talks it out. Finds a solution. I mean, but, these brothers, there's no way that they could talk it out. They're too disrespectful. There's no way.
Rid of him.
For family and friends of Darius, the pain is the same. Memorials are becoming a common sight. This one for the rising star is growing by the minute. His cousin still can't believe he's gone.
Darius is the coolest kid that you were ever seen produce from over here. And he was going places, and they snatched that from us.
On a full scholarship at Houston Baptist University, he had visions of taking his skills to the top. His father tells us it was more than just a dream.
Go number 23 like Michael Jordan. Excellent kid. He wouldn't hurt a fly. It's so sad, a good, sweet soul. Gone too soon. It hurts.
What message do you have for his killer?
Stop being cowards. Like, everybody is cowards. Like, y'all want to sit here and shoot guns for what? If y'all want to shoot guns, go to war.
Hey, that's what I said. Send them to Ukraine. Send them to Ukraine. They want to shoot. Hey, You catch your first charge as a juvenile, send them to Ukraine. Military school, straight to the Ukraine. You know, that's how they conserve their time, right?
And that's a pretty strong message you heard from the cousin there. The mayor met with the family last night and promised them that whoever's responsible will be caught. In the meantime, the 8 other people shot in this, they're expected to be okay. And again, police are looking for more than one person responsible. If you have any information on this, call Crime Stoppers. The number's 800-577-TIK.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
So it is what it is.